evening. Our top story this week. The U.S. government is suddenly concerned with the ongoing problem of American foster kids being targeted for sex trafficking, with a former victim testifying about the problem at a congressional hearing that is being held on the problem to figure out what to do about the high percentage of foster kids who end up in the sex trade. In California, a lawmaker hosts a series of town hall meetings in order to get the parents' perspective on what they went through when dealing with the state CPS agents. In Colorado, the child protective industry is defending refusing to give the state auditors any of their confidential records. In Connecticut, the child protective industry gets out from under years of federal oversight. And in Kansas, legislators are upset after the child protective industry refuses to release the findings of an inquiry looking into the mismanagement of foster care cases at the Wichita office. In Michigan, the child protective industry is imposing tremendous stress upon children and parents by acting on anonymous or falsified reports. In New York, the AARP is demanding that grandparents who raise the kids get the same rights and pay as foster parents. In Oklahoma, a report by a federal watchdog agency is saying that the child protective industry needs help getting up to par. And in Pennsylvania, a report says that foster kids are receiving too many medications which are being used to keep them quiet and subdued. In Tennessee, the child protective industry gets a federal waiver so they can reappropriate federal funds that will make it so they don't have to snatch kids in order to get the money. In Washington, a group of moms is fighting to have the child protective industry stop taking kids because of medical marijuana use. In West Virginia, CPS agents are pissing people off so much that they now have to worry about their personal safety. And the child protective industry is failing kids in western Utah. In Greece, 2 gypsies are arrested after being suspected of buying a little blonde girl named Maria. A woman from Bulgaria takes a DNA test which proves she is the biological mother of the kid. The case prompts the order for prosecutors across Greece to conduct emergency checks of birth records from the past 6 years because of fears of widespread child welfare fraud, which of course causes a Roma baby stealing panic all across Europe, prompting CPS agents in Ireland to snatch another kid which was quickly given back after DNA tests revealed that the parents were in fact the parents. And an Irish watchdog warns against jumping to wild conclusions. In England, a social worker is claiming that a cop held a gun to his head and told him to stop investigating a VIP pedophile ring. The UK Children's Services directors respond to Ofsted criticisms by saying that the negative reports causes instability of leadership because when you fire one leader, it always ends up being somebody new. And a British judge threatens to jail social workers who adopt kids out without telling the real parents why. In Alabama, a daycare worker is charged with abusing foster kids. In California, a former foster care advocate is arrested on suspicion of child sex abuse. In Wisconsin, a woman is accused of molesting her foster sister while channeling a male spirit. And in Oklahoma, a couple of foster parents are arrested after kids are found in their filthy home. In Texas this week, another baby is killed in foster care, which is raising even more concern about the safety of Texas foster kids, seeing how this is the 5th dead foster kid in the last few weeks and all. And of course, the kid would still be alive today if CPS agents had listened to the father who was warning them that the kid was being abused while in the care of foster parents. In Arizona, a former foster mother will spend 6 months in jail and 4 years probation for killing a kid in her care. And in Pennsylvania, a real mother gets pissed and threatens to shoot her caseworker and blow up the Northampton County child protective industry. Also in Oklahoma, a hearing is scheduled for the adoption finalization in the baby Desiree case, which is the second high-profile case of a Native American baby from Oklahoma being snatched up by a South Carolina couple, where a father is fighting tooth and nail to get her back. In Florida, the lawyer for a kid who was molested at age 9 by an adopted foster kid who his family took in says that the kid deserves $16.6 million for emotional damages he suffered from the ordeal, but the jury says he's only going to get $5 million. And 2 Florida CPS agents lose their job after they screwed up a child abuse investigation where the kid died. In Kansas, the judge hears arguments in the case of a sperm donor for a lesbian couple who the state is trying to sue for child support. In Nevada, the federal government is suing the family court because of excessive force by family court marshals. A Las Vegas CPS agent gets his job back after he was fired for fucking up a child abuse investigation. And finally, tonight in New Jersey, a group of women are waging a campaign against a family court judge for discrimination after he took their babies away. For these stories and all the latest dirt on the child protective industry, visit www.legallykidnapped.com. And until next week, this is Baby LK, over and out.